Hi, I'm Chad with Move Forward Guitar. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play augmented triads in close position. First off, if you click the link on the screen, or there's also a link in the description, you can download our Triads eGuide, and it includes all the diagrams for this lesson as well as many more, and it's a free eGuide. You can download that for free, so no reason not to just go do that. But as I'm filming this lesson, I'm still working on it, so it might not be available as you're watching this lesson. So if it's not available, it'll say coming soon, so just watch out for it. But don't worry, you don't need the eGuide to follow along with this lesson because all the diagrams will be on the screen. So I'm going to show you augmented triads in close position. And don't worry about what close position means. I'll have other lessons that explain that. This lesson is all about just being able to get these under your fingers and start using them right away. And if you do need a little bit of theory and explanation about triads, if you have no idea what they are, how they're built, you can click the link on the screen or in the description. It'll take you to a lesson where I gave explanation about triads and how they're constructed. So if you need that, if you need a little bit of primer, go watch that first. If you don't need that and you're just wanting to get these shapes under your fingers and start using them, just follow through with this lesson. So I'm going to play each one of these triads up the neck. And as I do, there'll be a diagram on the screen that shows you which inversion I'm playing. And in the diagram, it's going to show you the intervals of the chord, not the fingerings that I'm using. And that's because with triads, it's really important to understand the intervals. It's really important to see where they lie, because this is going to be the basis for a lot that you do on guitar and building more advanced chords and understanding harmony. So like I said, it's really important to see where those intervals lie. But also, fingerings can change from player to player and playing situation to playing situation. So what works best for me might not be what works best for you. And also the playing situation you're in might determine a better fingering than what I'm using in this lesson. So that's why the diagrams are going to show you the intervals, not the fingerings. So I'm going to play these as C augmented triads. I'm just playing it with C because I can start low on the neck in root position with the first string sets. But these shapes are going to stay the same no matter what key you're in. You're just going to obviously be in a different spot on the neck in a different key. And I'm going to play them through each string set. So I'm going to start with the first, second, and third string set, play up horizontally through the different inversions. Then I'm going to move to the next string set, the second, third, and fourth string set, do the same thing until I've gone through all the string sets. And the first one I start with is going to be in root position. That's why I'm starting with C. I'm just starting in root position. And that's because I can play it down here low on the neck and just move up horizontally without having to double back or anything. But the other ones that I play aren't going to start in root position, because all I'm going to be doing is starting with the lowest one I can reach, the lowest towards the headstock, without using any open strings. So that's why I only start in root position on the first one. So I'm just going to start with C, augmented triads in root position. So those are C augmented triads, and I was actually wrong. Two of the ones that I did started in root position. I said only one would, but you're able to see that on the diagram on the screen. And I'm sure you noticed that with each of these string sets that the shape stayed the same. I just moved up in major third intervals, meaning I moved up 4 frets at a time. And that's because augmented chords and triads are symmetrical, and that just means that when you play these inversions, that the shape stays the same when you stay on the same string sets, but the intervals just rearrange, and that's just something unique about symmetrical chords. I don't want to get into the theory behind it, but that's why these shapes stay the same as you played on each string set. So it'd be really good to practice these on each string set like I just showed you, playing horizontally, and especially when it comes to symmetrical chords, it's going to be really easy to just build muscle memory based on the order that you're playing them in. So if you start in root position, for example, and just play up in major third intervals using the same shape, you're going to really build muscle memory, which is good. It allows you to play fast, but it's also good to break free from just learning these by muscle memory, because then it's going to be hard to visualize where each one of these lands and be able to grab any of the inversions at any time. So once you can play them in order, it's good to randomize the order so that you're not just playing them one after the other. Just play them in a random order, and that'll help you to be able to visualize where each one lands. And then once you can play them horizontally, it'd be good to play them vertically. And what I mean by that is to start, if we started with C augmented and started in root position on the first, second, and third strings again, and I played C augmented, instead of going horizontally, I go vertically up towards the ceiling. So what I'm going to do is hold the same shape but take my highest note, which is under my first finger, which is a G sharp, and move that to my lowest note, and then the other two strings just stay the same. So then I'd end up with this shape, and then do it again, move my highest note, which is a C note, or which is an E note, move that to my lowest note, which will give me this shape. Do it one more time. My highest note is a C note, move that to the lowest note, which ends up here. The other two notes stay the same. So then I'm moving more vertically than horizontally, and do that for each one of the inversions, and that'll really help you lock these shapes in as well. And in the eGuide, it shows how to do this more clearly. The diagrams will be in there and show you exactly how to do this, but I think you can figure it out even without the eGuide if you just watch that again if you need to, and just take the time to really visualize them. You'll be able to figure it out. And be sure to check out our other lessons where I show you how to play triads with the other chord types, and be sure to subscribe because we add at least one new lesson every day.